Hi everyone, this is Richard. In this video, let's talk about generics. So generics is a way of giving you some flexibility with maintaining static typing while allowing some code reuse. Okay, we've dealt with, I'll explain that in just a minute if that didn't make any sense, all right? So we've dealt with generics before. For example, list. So when we did the list and we had in these, I don't even know what these are, greater than, less than signs. I'm not even sure what those are called, but when we have the type inside of there, that is actually a generic, okay? So the reason why we have that is because we want to be as strictly typed as possible, right? Not only do we want to type the list, but what's in the list as specifically as possible to let the computer help you out with any errors in the future, all right? How can we do this by ourselves? Well, let's create a class, okay? So let's give an example here. I'm going to create a class something, and I'm going to have the property of do something, okay? But wait a minute. This one is going to, the int is going to have the value, do something is going to have the value of int. There's going to be another one with the value of string, another value of bool, another value of double. But since we have 4 different types, data types, right? We have to have the different variable names. We can't have the same variable name with 2 different variable types, right? So this will be do something I, do something S, do something B, do something D. So there's a problem here, right? This is really a lot. So we could just say something equals new something, and I'm going to say something dot do something B equals, so do something B is a bool, so I'm going to say true, and we can do it that way, right? So that would be valid, and I always do this just by habit. Do something B, and so the value of do something B will be true, correct? Okay, so, but the problem with it is now if you want to do other things, you have to maintain a list of all of these and remember what they actually were. Do something I, do something S, right? But what if you have a different type altogether? So you have a different class that you want to be able to return do something with, okay? Now you're stuck. Now you got to go back to the class. You got to create a new public whatever class you're talking about, right? Is there an easier way? And we could take the inspiration right here and say, yes, there is. Let's just change this to do something, but instead I'm going to put it right here and I'm going to put a T. So it's by convention, by standard, it's always a T. You could probably put whatever letter you want, but just put a T. T stands for type. And what this says is when you instantiate it, put their type in that this is going to represent. So right now it's going to represent an int, excuse me, but I'm just going to put a T inside of there. So do something is of type T, right? So if it's of type T, then it could be anything right inside of here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll say something, and I'm going to put something in there like int. Something equals new something, but here I have to put the same thing, right? So it tells the system this is going to be an integer. So it would be do something, right, like that. Oh, that would not be, it's not true. It's 33, right? And that'll be 33. I think that's correct. Do something, oh. I think that's correct. Okay, so let's run it and see if it actually works. So what you're doing is you're inserting the variable, the type actually, you're inserting the type during runtime, right? It's here, it's not in the class itself, and we simplified this so you could put any type in here. So if you have some class, 1,000 different classes, you put the class inside here, and it takes, the variable takes the type of whatever you put inside. So that would be 33. Okay, so that would be, if I want to change that, I could change it to a string, right? And I could change this to a string or create a new one altogether, right? But this would have to be high. And so do something would be a string, which we put inside of there. All right, so generics are very helpful in this way. Notice that it really simplified the code by quite a bit. Not only that, but in the future, if you want to extend the code, it's very easy to do. You just do it during runtime, right? Not during the compile time, not during the creation of the class itself. Let me think here. If you want to do several things, you could put probably some other T, Q or something like that, and you could probably put like public Q do no anything. So you can change it, of course. But at the same time, you have to actually, I don't know, I don't remember what the, T is the type, okay? I'm not sure what the other one is, if there's a convention on that one. But anytime you read the documentation, and we may actually go over that in the future because that's not always that easy, you have to look at the documentation right inside of here, and you have, whenever you see T, it's going to be put the type inside here. So I'm going to say string, comma, int, and I'm going to say string, comma, int. All right, and so you can use two different types. Here, it doesn't make a difference because I'm not using that, but I always could use that for the something.anything. All right, so I hope that clarifies things on generics. Pretty neat. We've used it before, but now we can create our own generics and go forward. Thanks.